So this has been about a 4-day project for me. I've been slowly refilling all of the beds now that the temperatures are back up to around 50 to 60 degrees here in Charlotte. I have to be honest, this is a major workout, lots of strength training it feels like, and you definitely feel it at the end of the day, but it's been a welcome change from being stuck in the house from these really cold temperatures we've had lately. One thing that I really needed to do was to replant some of the herbs that are sitting in my garden beds. I've got some African blue basil, there's some sage and oregano, and some creeping thyme that are still hanging out in the beds, as well as some chives. And I really want to get those replanted based on my new planting plan. I do think that some of them have died off because of the ice storm we had a couple of weeks ago, but I will reassess those and see if they're still viable, and I'll replant them if they are, and if not, we will get some more if we need it. One thing that I'm going to also be doing is assessing the height of my trellis arches while I have everything open. I currently have them at about 8 feet, and I want to see if I can bring them down to about 7 feet by digging some deeper holes. Last summer, we had a straight line wind that actually knocked this one over, and I lost almost my entire tomato harvest. So I definitely don't want that again, and I'm sure it's because of the height made it a little bit more vulnerable. So we'll just dig them down a little deeper before I refill the beds, and then we'll pack them in tighter. finally, it is day 4 and we only have one bed left. I'm going to clear out this kale and broccoli and then quickly adjust the trellis, and then we will refill this bed and we will be all done and ready to go and be ready to plant our seeds. And I'm super excited about that. So I like to use these flower garden stakes on my raised garden beds, simply because it kind of gives me a visual for where I want to plant my seeds, and it looks a lot like my grid planning paper that I use to kind of think about what I'm going to plant for the next season. It also helps because my raised garden beds are about 48 square feet of planting space. I think in total I'm almost at 200 square feet in total for my kitchen garden. And so that is a lot of space to try to cover and remember where I'm putting down seeds. And so this just kind of helps me to stay focused. I don't like to be overly precise. I will move things around if I need to or prick out anything that is too close, but it definitely helps for me to stay on track. So I am planting cold-tolerant plants, things like lettuces, kale, spinach, arugula, as well as root crops such as carrots, radishes, and beets. I'm only focused on the 2 boxes that you would have seen a couple weeks ago in my planting plan. I call them the juice box and the salad box. I love juicing, and I am definitely ready to move into some warm weather where I typically have a salad more often than I do during the cold weather months. And so I am focused on those 2 beds for today, and I will think about the other 2 as the coming weeks as the weather starts to warm up. So these are some Swiss chard that have been hanging out, and so I don't know if they will make it again, but in my planting plan, this is my soup box. I'm going to see if these 2 Swiss chard plants will make it, and I'll replant them. If not, then I have a couple on standby in my seed trays to replant them if they don't make it through moving them. But I have moved them before and they seem to be okay with me ripping them out of the ground and moving them around. I also have some green onions that I'm moving over to the salad box. I do like to sprinkle my salads with a little bit of green onions. It gives it just a little extra kick. I definitely think my Nigel is done for today. He is most definitely a house dog. So I am going to just tidy up. I pulled out quite a few of my irrigation stakes. I need to collect all of the lighting that I typically keep inside of my raised beds, and we'll put those aside and work on those in a future video, and I will show you how I test out my irrigation and make sure that it's up and running for the season. Until next time, thank you for sharing this moment with me in the soft seasons. I'm glad you found your way into the garden.